So today I'm going to be showing you my essential tools and my routine for taking care of them, starting off with my favorite products from HORL. Over the years, I've tried a few different methods for sharpening my knives. The first was one of those pull-through knife sharpeners, which immediately I just did not like. So then I upgraded to a whetstone, which was definitely better, but I found that the learning curve on it was a little bit steep, and I struggled to maintain the angle, or the proper angle, on the whetstone, and so that resulted in a lot of scratch marks on the side of my knives. And because I did not like the process and how messy it got, I definitely avoided doing it as much as possible, so I just wasn't really consistent with keeping my knives sharp. But ever since I've upgraded to a rolling knife sharpener, specifically the HORL3, I found the entire process to be so much easier, less messy, and a lot faster as well, which has been really handy. Founded in 2016 and made in the Black Forest, these knife sharpeners are both gorgeous to look at and a breeze to use. There are two main pieces. The first is the magnetic block that has two sides. Each are set to a different degree for sharpening your blade at, either 15 degrees, which is what I used for my Santoku Japanese knife, or 20 degrees, which is what I used for my European German knives. And then it all just depends on the type of knife that you have. The other piece is the actual rolling knife sharpener, which also has two sides, the diamond side and then the ceramic side. So the diamond side, which you're going to be using first, is the medium grit, and that's actually used for really sharpening your knife. Now, it might take up to about a minute on each side, but that's only really if your knives are quite dull. Otherwise, it takes even less time. And then after that, you're going to flip it over to the other part of the rolling knife sharpener, which is the ceramic disc side, which has a much finer grit, and that's more so for smoothing out any of the burrs and really getting that gorgeous, fine finishing touch. Now that my knives are nice and sharp, I'm going to show you how I take care of the second most important tool in the kitchen, which is a proper wooden cutting board. I have two wooden cutting boards. This is my most recent addition. It's also from HORL, and it's made using the wood offcuts that they use for their knife sharpeners. Now, the reason I especially like this cutting board, besides the fact that it's beautiful and also very big, is that it has these little legs on the bottom, which keeps it slightly raised, and it also keeps it stable, so I don't like slip and slide. With my other cutting board, there's no legs on it, so I oftentimes have to put a towel underneath to keep it from sliding. Another thing is that there can be an issue with airflow. So with this, it allows airflow underneath, whereas my other one doesn't, and I've had issues in the past with wooden cutting boards getting easily warped. Even though I keep them propped up against the side of the wall, sometimes moisture can get locked in from underneath if I accidentally leave them on the countertop, or if it's just spending too much time there. Since I do a lot of my cooking with enamel cookware, I don't like to use metal utensils because I find that it can scratch the bottom really easily, and also if other people are in my kitchen, I just get really stressed about them ruining my cookware. And then I don't like silicone because I find after a while it takes on a bit of a funky taste when I am cooking stuff, and over a while it just kind of is gross. So instead I usually opt for wooden utensils. Now I do have an entire set. This was also gifted to us for our wedding, along with the cutting board. These are all so handy and I use them all the time, but my most used utensil when cooking is this flat sauté, which I got separately. This is from Early Wood, and you'd use it in place of a wooden spoon. I love using it for stirring stews because you can really scrape up the bottom of the stuff that's like stuck to the bottom of the pan. The taste is so good with this. And you can also stir really precisely. If I wanted to like just move one part or break something apart, I just find it's a lot more precise than a wooden spoon. You can also flip things with it, and it just like looks so beautiful as well. So yeah, it's not a necessity, but if you are looking for something to replace your wooden spoon, or you'd like to get a gift for somebody else, or like get a little gadget in the kitchen or a utensil that is really lovely, again, not a necessity, this is the one that I recommend. I have gotten this as a birthday gift and a Christmas gift before for people, and they have loved it. So definitely something that I love to tell people about. Now, just like our cutting boards, our wooden utensils need a bit of love, so I'm going to oil the driest ones of these. Some of them got an oiling recently. Okay, now it's time to give my cast iron pans a little bit of love. The smaller one, I have two. Smaller one's in pretty good shape. I use it quite regularly, so it's looking good. They're both from Lodge. I quite like them. They're not too expensive either. And then the second one is my big one, and I am embarrassed to show you, but I haven't used it in a little while, and it definitely needs some love. There's a fair amount of rust on it, so I'm going to try and wash all that off, and then I'm going to turn the oven on to about 400 degrees, 450, and I'm going to grease these up with oil, and I'm going to season them in the oven. Okay, so the cast irons were in the oven for about an hour. I turned it off, let it cool down a little bit. I'm gonna take them out and continue to let them cool, but they should be all seasoned. The rest is gone. And it's looking pretty good. And the last step in my mini kitchen maintenance is to stain remove my beautiful aprons. A lot of these were made by my mom. She made them herself, which is so cool. I like to give them a little clean about once a month. I use a tough stain remover by the laundress, and I let it sit in the stain removers for about 10 minutes, and then I give it a wash, and then I'll either air dry or I'll throw them in the dryer. Okay, this one seems fine, just needs a little wash. Let's see if I can tackle some of this. Irons out of the oven. The small one is looking perfect. The bigger one definitely has a little bit of streakiness. It's gonna need a couple more goes in the oven. I do tend to struggle to get as much of the oil off as I should be. But you can do it in a couple of different layers and add a couple of different coatings. This one has been causing me a little bit more grief than the smaller one, and I think it's just because I use the other one a good bit more. So because I'm constantly putting oil in it, I'm continuously seasoning it. Whereas with this one, I'm definitely not cooking with it as much as I am the other. But yeah, so the rest is gone and it is looking better than before. And then tomorrow I'll probably do the same thing all over again and just get at the excess oil a little bit more. So now my little routine is done. I've got sharp knives, my cutting boards have been oiled, my wooden utensils have been oiled, and I have clean apron. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you guys next time.